All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wonderful people, lovers of freedom all over the world. Wherever you're joining us from today, you're highly welcome to this wonderful YouTube platform that gives you quality news and information on every issues happening and trending in Biafran territory. Now, let us go straight up to this one because this is actually a very critical matter and it is an issue that we must actually discuss at this critical time. And what is this issue? This issue is about the United Nations president. Now, I'll be dropping different videos, videos that critically exposed the United Nations president, in the issue of Biafra generally. Now, we're talking about the issue of Ambazonia and the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá Njoko. Now, my issue with the United Nations and other international bodies or organizations, both the EU and the rest of them, including the African international community, ECOWAS, and the African Union, is that they have failed to do the needful in protecting lives and property of innocent people. I thought that was the major reason why we have the United Nations. Now, they've been silent on the issue of Biafra. They've been silent on the issue of, the atrocious things that are being committed in the Biafran territory by the zoo government. And the United Nations president is not even helping matter. I'm not going to delve into the issue proper because we have a good analyst that will be exposing them. If you are able to listen to this video from the beginning to the end, you'll be shocked, with the level of exposition that was actually being given in this particular video. So if you happen to listen to this video, around the 20th minute plus, now you'll be seeing a lot of exposition on this issue. That is one. Now, secondly, still on the issue of the atrocious things being done to the freedom fighters, we know that Dr. Ayaba, the Prime Minister of Ambazonia, is still being held in Norway. The same way that the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá Njoko is also being held in Finland for no crime against humanity. The reality is that Finland cannot still come out today to say categorically this is the offense of the Prime Minister Simon Èkpá Njoko. That is how bad it is.
This is an
when I keep on saying
the court proceeding.
The world is so corrupt generally,
against Indigo,
to the extent that
they said Indigo were the people that that orchestrated that coup.
That is why you will see this part.
Watch the video
of the world
before we now go into this issue critically, because we need to understand
your oil,
what this whole thing is all about, and how
protect
you has been marginalized,
from
not
any
invaders. Trying to do
just the same way
possible to
we have,
what
the
in this zoological republic of Nigeria. That is why the people who are speaking against Simon Èkpá Njoko, I just look at them and like
the corruption and the atrocious things
against the only man who is coming out to hit on the government.
They are
only man
using their
who
long
is, looking at what the
dry,
atrocious things these people are doing fearlessly, and he's fighting them. The only man who has come close to this freedom for a very long time. How can you be speaking against him? How can you be fighting
Biafran
against
land?
him?
Because
now,
Biafran land is
actually
rich
baffling in all kind of mineral resources.
The same thing that the United Nations is doing. That is why.
So watch the video and do not forget to share this video to every Igbo person. So if you know any Igbo person, wherever you are, please so make sure you share this video. Share to our children. They need to understand, history. They need to understand, the kind of our stance as Igbos. Because a lot of them have actually gone astray.
But these are
so many youth
lies
have actually gone astray. They have failed to understand what we are fighting for. They have failed to understand the freedom that we are fighting for.
Why
that is where so many things have actually gone wrong. So make sure you share this video, and also we continue to ask, for audience to continue to support us and encourage us with supers. Super stickers, super chat, anyone you can call, you can support us with. Make sure you support us. As you do so, may God bless you. Now enjoy this video and make sure you share this video to as many Igbos as possible. Forget about sharing to anybody. Just make sure you are sharing to Igbos in particular.
Because that is level of atrocity that we are seeing in the world. So when we tell you that the world is being sold to a particular set of people, and this set of people, they invest only to get something back from you. So if you don't have anything to offer, then you're on your own. That is why somebody like Simon Èkpá and Joko is still under custody. Somebody like Dr. Cho Ayaba is still under custody. Somebody like Nnamdi Kanu is still under the dungeon of the Zoo DSS, security operatives, despite all kind of criminality that was done to Onyendo Nnamdi Kanu. Let me leave you with this video, because at least Balia Tosasi Ozea. Make sure you spread the gospel of Biafra. Make sure you continue to spread this message across to every to every believer of Biafra, to as many groups, to as many platforms as possible, and also continue to encourage us with all the kind of supers you can, whether $50, whether $100, whether $1, whether $20, whether euros, any kind of currency. Send us a super chat, a super sticker, and a super thanks. God bless you and enjoy this wonderful news and exposition.
Mazi Simon Èkpá, here are the news in details. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome to Biafra Unite channel /television this very moment. Today's date is 23rd of February 2025, and I have this very video for every one of you listening to my voice right now from where you are all over the world. Biafrans and lovers of freedom, I want you to pay very good attention to this very news, because it's very, very important, I can assure you, my people, and I want you to send this very video across. Once you come across it, do something about it so that it may get to the right channel, because it is very, very important. If the United Nations, even the president, Antonio Guterres, will see this very broadcast that I'm making right now, it will be very, very, very important, and it may go a long way to what we are doing. So moving forward, I want to play the video first. After playing the video, I will allow the video to play in full. Then I will begin to analyze it bit by bit. So I want you to pay attention to the very end of it. And I want to announce also, I don't know when this very address was made by Antonio Guterres, but this is real. This is not AI. This is not propaganda. This is real. The only thing there is that I don't know the date that it was made. I only came across it, so I found it very, very necessary for me to use it for this very broadcast, based on what the Biafran people are passing through in the hands of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria today. So pay attention while I play the video, and then we will analyze it.
The world must never forget that Africa is the victim of two colossal and compounded injustices. First, the profound impact of colonialism and the transatlantic slave trade. The roots stretch back centuries, and the bitter fruit continues to affect Africans and people of African descent to this day. Decolonization alone in itself was not a panacea. Political independence did not free countries from structures based on exploitation and decades of economic, social, and institutional underinvestment. It is high time for reparatory justice frameworks to be put in place.
All right, now it is time to begin to analyze this. And I want to say before moving forward that I will be coming live this evening to discuss about the issue of Mazi Simon Èkpá, the Prime Minister of Biafra. So everybody is expected to key into that very discussion because it concerns all Biafrans, wherever you are, all over the world. Now, let us analyze this Antonio Guterres speech one by one and recall that between 2021 and 2022, Antonio Guterres was in Nigeria. That was after the kidnap and rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya to the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. So, Antonio Guterres was in the zoo. He visited Abuja and another state in the northern part of the zoo. This very man, in fact, before we continue, let us first of all analyze this very video and his speech.
The world must never forget that Africa is the victim of two colossal and compounded injustices. First, the profound impact of colonialism and the transatlantic slave trade.
So, you see, I always say that when somebody wants to deal with you, when they want to eye you, when they want to finish you up, they first of all give you beautiful and big names. They first of all remind you how great you are. And after, once you hear but, the moment that word but comes in, then that is the time they want to rip you off. So, this man telling us how Africa is a victim of colonialism, and after that speech, they clap for him. For us to do what? You are telling us something that we already know. We are talking about solution. Don't come here to tell us what we know. We already know that we are victims of colonialism, which your own people participated. There are some countries that speak Portuguese in Africa, the likes of Mozambique and Angola. These countries, speak Portuguese, and they were colonized by Portugal. So this Portugal, where he comes from, his country, is among the countries in Europe, the European countries that destroyed Africa from beginning. So, Antonio Guterres, as somebody in your own level, what is your country, Portugal, doing? And you, as a top man, one of the top men in the world, what are you doing to, bring solution to our problem, not to remind us our problem? Even though maybe you think, or some people may think that you are saying it so that we can wake up. What is your country and you yourself with your organization that you are leading, which is United Nations, doing to proffer solution to our problem? I will come to Biafra matters in a jiffy. Let's continue.
The roots stretch back centuries, and the bitter fruit continues to affect Africans and people of African descent to this day. Decolonization alone in itself was not a panacea. Political independence did not free countries from structures based on exploitation.
Very fantastic. That is where I want to come in now with the matters of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Èkpá. He said, decolonization, political independence did not bring solution. Let me just put it in a plain terms, based on what he meant. That political independence does not bring solution to our problems in Africa. So then decolonization is the real deal here. And how do we bring this decolonization? These countries or these tribes or states amalgamated into one bigger countries in Africa have to be decolonized. That is the real deal here, the solution. Which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, let me start with him, is fighting for. And he was kidnapped in Kenya, the zoo, Nigeria. The government of the zoo committed an international crime that is against the United Nations Charter and law, against the rule of law that you, Antonio Guterres, is overseeing. Even some part of this, your organization, has advised the government of the zoo to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Yet till today, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still being held in a solitary confinement in a DSS terrorist organization in Abuja. Yet you, Antonio Guterres, you came here between 2021 and 2022. You never mentioned the name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or Biafra when you had an opportunity to do so. You never mentioned these names. You came here, you visited the then president of the zoo, Muhammadu Buhari. You toured the northern states and then flew back to wherever you came from. Shame on you. It's a big shame. Very big shame. I'm not going to hide my mouth to say it. That is our proverb. You see? Have you seen how hypocritical you are? Now, currently, the Prime Minister, Mazi Samneba, is being held in Finnish prison. Are you telling me, Antonio Guterres, that you have never heard about it? That you are not aware of it? No, you are aware of it. But what? You are hypocritical on this same issue. Yes, of course. You also are aware that the zoo government is doing every single thing within their powers, including their allies, Britain and other Western countries, trying to pressurize Finland to subvert the law, and probably jail an innocent man who is advocating for the freedom of his people, which is what you are talking about. Which you said that political independence is not solution. So what is our solution? And how can we do this when people like you and your organization, which is United Nations, are not giving full backing to those people and states that want to be free from the whole mess that we all in Africa found ourselves because of colonialism? You are doing nothing. Your organization is doing nothing. Biafra has been redeclared in Finland. How many countries within the United Nations organization have recognized Biafra? None, not even one. Nobody's even talking about it. Although for this one, I'm not going to blame them, because those who claim to be in charge of both the redeclaration and those who are supposed to pursue the diplomatic side of this very freedom have thrown everything in the bin. So I'm not going to blame the United Nations or those nations who are within this organization concerning this very matter. But the man who's supposed to oversee this movement is being held in Finland. Yet United Nations is not saying anything about it. So how do we talk about decolonization or decolonizing Africa? So please, don't shoot me at the same time trying to remove the bullet from my body. No. Allow me to find my way to heal myself. You cannot be my doctor after being the one who shot me. It's not going to happen.
And decades of economic, social, and institutional underinvestments. it is high time for reparatory justice frameworks to be put in place.
You see, after finishing his whatever he said, they clap for him. What has he said? The question here is, what is your organization doing about it? The only thing United Nations know how to do best is to take bribe, oil, and other resources to suppress the oppressed. That's all. Yes, we know that we need, recognition from United Nations. We know that we need help from the United Nations. But must we all perish before this very recognition and help will come from the United Nations? Should we go on our knees begging the United Nations to come and recognize us, or even to come and help us? Are you not seeing what is going on in Biafra land? Are you not seeing how the zoo is using their terrorist organization known as Nigerian Army to massacre innocent people within our territory? Is the United Nations not seeing it? No, you are seeing it. But because of what you are getting from the zoo, which is also in our land, you will always keep mum. I may talk about this during my live broadcast this evening, which we will be discussing the issue bordering on Mazi Simon Èkpá. Thank you, my people. To salo nomozia and make it go viral. Third negotiation between Ambazonia and Cameroon. Here are the news in details. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome to Biafra Unite channel /television this very moment. Today's date is 25th of February 2025, and I have breaking information for every one of you listening to my voice right now from wherever you are all over the world. Dear friends and lovers of freedom, I want you to pay very good attention to this very news, because it's very, very important. I can assure you, my people. The leader of the Ambazonia War of Liberation, Dr. Ayaba, has been approached by the Norwegian authorities, relaying a message to him that the Cameroonian leader, or should I say the Cameroonian government, has requested for a roundtable talk. So I don't want to analyze too much. I will go straight and read this very news in details from an official news line of the Ambazonian Liberation Movement. So let me read and then I will analyze it. Also connect the dots with what is going on in the Biafra Liberation Movement. So pay attention while we read in full details. Recall that yesterday the news was flying all over the social media space, which was authentic. Actually, it was really, really authentic. I personally would have recorded the news, but I was waiting for something like this. And as you can see, you already have it on your screen. So the news yesterday said that the Cameroonian authorities have requested for a roundtable talk with, of course, the Ambazonia Governing Council. So this very important message, or should I say, very, very welcoming development was, delivered or relayed to Dr. Ayaba by Norwegian authority, which he has something very, very important to say. And according to this very big news, they said, big breaking news, Dr. Ayaba, the Ambazonia decolonization leader, has been approached. This is an authentic information from an authentic, news platform for Ambazonia people. Now, he said, has been approached by Norwegian authorities, which is Norwegian government, who relayed a message from La République du Cameroon, expressing their desire to engage in talks about the ongoing conflict. However, now pay attention, Dr. Ayaba responded by telling Norway to inform Cameroon to resume pre-talk negotiations in Ottawa, Canada, which they had previously abandoned and denied involvement through their Minister of Communication. Now, in explanation here, there was a peace talk. When you talk about peace talk, the peace talk that they are talking about is not for Ambazonian people to abandon their quest for freedom and go back to Cameroon because now they want peace. That is not the peace talk. The peace talk is to allow the Ambazonian people to be on their own and govern themselves, so there will be peace in that region, so that the Ambazonian people will stop to be spied by the Cameroonian, security agents, and the security agents of Cameroon will stop to be spied in Ambazonian territory by the Ambazonia Liberation Forces. That is the peace talk that they are talking about. And this can only happen when the Cameroonian occupying forces will vacate from Ambazonia, and Ambazonia will become an independent nation. That is the peace talk. So, according to Dr. Cho Ayaba, who has told the Norwegian authority to tell Cameroonian, government to go and resume the discussion which they previously abandoned in Ottawa, Canada. And they did not just abandon it, but they also denounced it. They denied it. They said they have never been involved in any peace talk or roundtable discussions with Ambazonia anywhere in the world. But there was a discussion. There was a peace talk that was going on in Canada, a couple of years ago. But they denied it. So this man, their leader, Dr. Cho Ayaba, has told them to go back to Ottawa, Canada. Now let's continue reading. Dr. Ayaba emphasized that as a prisoner, he cannot engage in talks with Cameroon, which is reality. That is the reason why whenever these idiots are running mad on social media telling you, oh, political solution, oh, they have met Buhari, oh, they met Tinubu, oh, this and that. They are doing that to, please you. You that are listening to them, you that are watching them on television, talking nonsense. They are doing that to please you, to show you that they are doing something, at least to see if they can end sit at home. You cannot begin a conversation with a prisoner. Is he going to sit on that round table with chains on his legs and hands? Is he going to sit there with handcuffs? The answer is no. Is he going to sit there surrounded with military officers and DSS with AK-47? The answer is no. You can only sit down and engage in peace talk with a free person. That's why we said Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must, I said must be released first before you tell us anything. I will tell you something. I'm going to bring this matter on the side of Biafra movement, but not now. Now, moving forward, they said he cannot engage in talks with Cameroon, who he accused of buying his own people with impunity. He stressed that only free people can negotiate. Have you seen it? Only free people can negotiate, highlighting the power imbalance in any potential talks. Dr. Cho Ayaba. May you live long. May you live long. You are a true freedom fighter. History will remember you for good. Not only in Ambazonia, not only in Africa, but also worldwide. This development comes as the Ambazonia Governing Council, AGOVC, has rejected Cameroon's call for negotiations, citing manipulation and a lack of good faith. The AGOVC has been a key player in the Ambazonian independence movement, seeking to establish a sovereign state. The situation remains complex, with deep-seated mistrust between the parties involved. The international community, including Norway and Canada, may play a crucial role in facilitating a peace talk resolution to the conflict. Biafra and Ambazonia in our blood. Let me take this last place again. The international community, including Norway and Canada, may play a crucial role in facilitating a peace talk resolution to the conflict. Biafra and Ambazonia in our blood. Did you get that? May play a crucial role in facilitating a peace talk resolution to the conflict. Now, I don't want to analyze it further here. I want to bring it to Biafra issue. Let me tell you, there is no comparison between Biafra and Ambazonia. The only comparison there is we are all fighting for one thing, which is freedom. Then, if you want to talk about popularity, Biafra has it more. If you want to talk about the funding, Biafra has it more. If you want to talk about people and, of course, numbers, population, Biafra has it more. So the question is, why is Biafra stagnant? Why is Biafra stagnant? But Ambazonia, that's supposed to be emulating Biafra, is the one progressing. Kudos to them. Flowers must be given to those who really want freedom in Ambazonia. Yes, kudos to them. I appreciate their effort. Now, after asking yourself these all-important questions, let me tell you, the only answer there is that we left our own objectives and started chasing shadow. We started chasing shadows. That is the reason why Biafra is stagnated. Since Ambazonian leader Dr. Ayaba was apprehended in Norway and illegally, imprisoned, even without court trial, just exactly what Mazi Simon Èkpá is passing through today in the hands of the Finnish authority. Since then till today, the Ambazonian Governing Council remain intact. There is no position draggers. There is no money or power mongers. They are intact, fighting for that very one goal, making sure that their army, Ambazonia War of Liberation Army, fighting tooth and nail till tomorrow against the occupying forces of Cameroon. Their military is intact. They did not come online to cause nuisance online. Talking nonsense online. You never see them do that. Even though they have issues within themselves, because of course, there must be problems within themselves. But they never brought it out. They never brought it to the public. They never brought it to the media. You did not see them insulting each other on media since their leader was, arrested and illegally imprisoned in Norway. They kept on marching. Till today, they are still marching. They have even rejected the peace negotiation, proposal by Cameroon because their leader is still in prison in Norway. And Norway is holding him because of the request, not just from Cameroon, but the pressure from France, which France is the colonial masters of Cameroon. You see, that is the reason why I am calling for this, worldwide protest for Mazi Simon Èkpá. All important worldwide protest for our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Èkpá. So